True North Reviews, True North Reviews, True North Reviews.
Hey there, welcome to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing the Coldplay album, Music of the Spheres. This is the 9th studio album from the British rock band Coldplay, the follow-up to their double LP predecessor, Everyday Life. That record, in my opinion, was a strong showing from Coldplay, my favorite album of theirs from last decade, plenty of songs that are underrated in their discography. Now, Music of the Spheres this time round is slightly shorter in length, more compact as well, and it's notably produced by Max Martin, among other big pop producers. With that last point about pop production, it goes without saying I had my fair share of doubts heading into this project. The highly glossy and commercial sounding lead single, Higher Power, didn't seem all too appealing upon its initial release, the production in particular hampering the songwriting in my opinion, and even the promotional single, Coloratura, felt like it was biting off more than it could chew, clocking in over 10 minutes. Yes, a Coldplay song over 10 minutes. But that said, the full album is here, and after listening to it, I can say my expectations were exceeded. Even the singles have become stronger with multiple listens. Higher Power is now joyful and full of bursts of color and euphoria. Even the progression to this track, the way that it unfolds throughout the multiple sections, is commendable. I love how Coldplay used dynamics on Higher Power. They save the loudest and most energetic chorus for last, and they explode out of that ever so catchy bridge. Humankind is a great track as well. The soaring falsettos on the hook are hit perfectly. The call and response vocals in the verse from drummer Will Champion are charismatic and even akin to Viva La Vida era Coldplay. Humankind is just another anthemic and good example of tight songwriting. If there's one thing that Coldplay can always do right, it's writing a catchy song, and regardless of production quality or the band members' performances across albums, it really is a talent for them to craft great songs, album in, album out, and Humankind is no exception to that. Continuing on a positive note, My Universe features an explosive chorus contrasted to some nondescript verses. Look, if it weren't for BTS on this track, I probably would have skipped to the next chorus. The chorus is very catchy, by the way, and at the end of this track, there's another great element to it. They introduce a trippy dance outro, which I can see why this song would be a guilty pleasure for some. Now, speaking towards the collaborative aspect of the album, the features are wide-ranging. They almost feel like they were picked at random. I'd certainly like to know more about the band's selection process, but I'm happy that Jacob Collier is getting some attention and sharing the spotlight with Coldplay. One of the more surprising features to see here, in my opinion, is Selena Gomez. Less so BTS, I already mentioned them, and it makes sense that they would be called upon because they've been in such major demand and have been internationally acclaimed in recent years. Back to Selena though, she's featured on the track Let Somebody Go. She starts off slow, but she shares some pretty harmonies with Chris Martin on an okay song. It's more on the ballad side of things, and it's fine. It's just not anywhere near the quality of other tracks. One of those higher quality tracks, in my opinion, is People of the Pride, easily the most rock-leaning track on the project with Muse-esque guitar riffs. Actually, some people might call this a poor man's Muse, but I beg to differ. I think the song is a jam, and it's pulled off very effectively, even if it's obvious who the influence is. Adding a note to People of the Pride, there is a touch of vocal processing in its verses, not distracting though, just enough to add an extra dimension to the track and not to make it so one-dimensional. On the other hand, the song Beautiful takes this vocal processing that was on People of the Pride, but it's just taken to the extreme with this alien layered vocal, similar to the voice that we heard on the song Cry 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 from Coldplay's previous album, but This time on Beautiful, this song is anything but beautiful. Those stretched out vocals at the end of the track, I don't know how Coldplay greenlit that, but they did. Couple it with some hideous modern trap production and a misspelt word for a title, and I'm ready to tap out at that point. Now, if you take a closer look at the track list, you'll quickly realize that misspelling words isn't the only thing that's going on there. There's emojis being used as song titles. And before you rush to call me a grandpa who just can't accept that emojis are being used as song titles now, let me just put this out here. 3 of the 5 songs that make use of emojis in their titles are unnecessary. They're just like these transitions, very spacious, and they're more just like these interludes, but they aren't adding much to the experience. The exception to that, though, being Infinity, which fleshes out its track length and engages in an Olé chant with a futuristic twist. Picture this, it's like being nostalgic while watching a Montreal Canadiens hockey game and hearing Coldplay remix the song Olé. Proving to be more than just nostalgia, though, Infinity transitions into a lush outro with a danceable groove, subtly adding in sub-bass. This sets the stage for the album's closer, which I've saved most of my thoughts on it up until this point because it's so epic. The name of this tune being Coloratura, and it starts off on an expansive orchestral intro and just like this warm-up of instruments that reminds me of some of the arrangements from Coldplay's previous record, Everyday Life. Unlike the last record, though, this track is 10 plus minutes, like I said earlier, and has an expanded form, easily one of the most ambitious and adventurous songs the group has ever written. In my opinion, the track only gets better the deeper you dive into it. The dynamics swell with plucked strings. Just before the song's 6-minute mark, we have a whimsical passage filled with bells before making way for keys and a guitar solo. Capping off this song is a vocal chant that will no doubt have fans belting at the top of their lungs live, but overall, yeah, as a track, Coloratura is fantastic, and the production thankfully isn't suffocated by Max Martin. Who knew a rock band could have a Swedish producer on a song and not have it ruined? Learn from this, Green Day, please. Overall, though, Music of the Spheres, despite my lowballed expectations coming into it, I think it has its fair share of highlights as well as lowlights. Definitely not as strong as Everyday Life in my opinion, but if it means I can add another handful of songs to my ever-growing Coldplay playlist, I can't complain. I mean, there are songs I can complain about, but I'm trying not to dwell on those as much. With that said, I'm going to give Coldplay a strong 6 out of 10 on this one. Check it out if you're a hardcore fan, obviously, but maybe just start with the favorite tracks that I'll have listed down below in the description. Go from there, see what you like, but there's the review for today. Make sure you guys sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of this music, whether you agree or disagree. I'm here to engage with you guys. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. I'd appreciate that as always. Thanks for watching and have a rockin' day.